Okay. Now, normally I would go through 2-2, 2-3, and 2-4 today, but I'm only going to do 2-2 on the second half of today because 2-2 is loaded with stuff the way it is. So you have to pay attention. Y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. Yeah. All right. So the first derivative is slope. Okay. So you have to think of the slope formula. So when we're doing this, finding a limit using a slope formula, this is y2, this is y1, this is x2, this is x1. So you have a point A, f of A, and you'd have a point x, f of x. Or you really wouldn't have a point. This is x and f of x, and then this is the point. Okay? So that's finding a limit using the slope formula, finding a slope, basically. Finding the first derivative using the slope formula, basically, is what we're doing there. Okay? Finding the first derivative using the slope formula. Okay, this tends to blow people away. So let's try to figure this out. See how x goes to e. So my x value is e. My y value is 1. Okay. What? This is y1. This is x1. This is y2. This is x2. Okay? So, what we're being basically told here is f of x equals the ln of x. This is leading to this. Okay, f of x equals the ln of x. So f of e is the ln of e. What's the ln of e equal to? 1. Because ln and e cancel each other out, and you're just left with the power. Well, the power of e is e to the 1, which is just 1. So, we have an x value of e where f of x equals the ln of x. An x value of e where f of x equals the ln of x. Now, 3 years ago, I was totally blown away by this section because I had only done the limit stuff using this formula and never done the slope formula. And once I started using Khan Academy, they started doing more slope like this. And, it was a tough learning curve for me who had taught AP Calc for several years before I ever did this. So, but you guys, hopefully it goes better. So, because hopefully I can teach this better now. So this is y2, x2, x1. Okay. So, what do you think? What do you think y1 will be? Well, to find y1, you put x1 in here. F of pi over 2, which is the sine of pi over 2. What's the sine of pi over 2? 1, right? So, basically, this is x1, and this is y1, or else this is y1. And in this problem, I would rather have them write it y1 like this, but they actually wrote y1 like this. So, y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Which one matches that? y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. It is choice D. Not C, because C has sine of x minus pi over 2. It's the sine of x minus the sine of pi over 2. You can't distribute your sign there, okay, through the parentheses. So it would be choice D. Okay, that's using the slope formula for first derivatives. This is how I learned calculus. The formal definition of a limit. Okay, we can calculate the slope of a tangent line and a derivative of f at x equals c, provided the limit exists, using this formula. And I hammered this home on people forever. And this still appears on the AP Calculus test, so you need to not understand this. Okay? So, if you have like f of x equals x squared, f of x, or f of, and they do it a little different, f of c plus h equals c plus h squared, which is c squared plus 2ch plus h squared. We replace f of x with c plus h. So x squared is x plus h, or is c plus h squared. So that's FOILed out. F of c is c squared. Are we all right with that? Because if f of x is x squared, and if you put in a c, then c would be squared. If you put in a c plus h would be squared, which is that. Okay? So what we're going to do for this function, f of x equals x squared, we're going to put what c plus h equals, which is c squared plus 2ch plus h squared, minus f of c, which is c squared, all over h. Now, what's c squared minus c squared? Cancels. So we get 2ch plus h squared over h. What can we factor out on the top? H. So it's 2c plus h over h. The h's cancel. And now, since h approaches 0, we're going to put a 0 in for h, and we get 2c. So f of c is c squared. The first derivative is 2c. The first derivative of c squared is 2c. Remember on our first set of problems, we had f of x equals x squared, and our slope at 0 is 0. Our slope at 1 was equal to 2. Our slope at 2 was equal to 4. Okay? See how it's 2 times that number, 2c? So for c squared, it's 2c. And as I say, on Friday and next Monday, we'll learn more about how we get that and shortcuts to get there. So, they do c plus h. I like to do f of x plus h, but we'll do c plus h here. Minus f of c all over h. So what is c going to be in this case? What's f of c? f of c is 2 to the third, whatever this is. Okay? So what happens here is when c is 3, f of x must be 2 to the x when c is 3. So the first derivative of 3 when it's 2 to the x power. Because if f of c is 2 to the third and we get c equal to 3, that's what we're plugging in there. So then the function must be 2 to the x. So the function is the log of x. Our x value is 2. So the log of c plus h is the log of 2 plus h, where c equals 2. And it's the log of x. So the log of 2 plus h minus the log of 2 all over h, if you stick in the 2 for the function. Okay, that's the type of thing you'll have in this section. Is you're going to have slopes, which I think are a little easier to understand, slope formula. And then you're going to have this f of x plus h minus f of x all over h. We'll hit this again. So this isn't the only day we're going to hit it. We'll hit this again. So hopefully you'll understand a little better. There's still 20 minutes left. Hopefully you can get this done in the next 20